Now, earlier we told you about 35 persons who have been confirmed, who have been reported to be allegedly killed by bandits or kidnappers in their den after their failure to pay 35 million naira ransom. Now, to discuss this development, we're joined by former chairman, Zamfara Committee on Prosecution of Bandits, Abdullahi Shinkafi. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you for coming on. What are the systemic failings and or intelligence that allowed such an organized attack to go undetected?
Thank you for having me in the program. Bandits kidnapped the people of Banga district for over 5 months, since February. And after they were kidnapped, they're in captivity for good 5 months. And 53 of them were kidnapped. The armed bandit enforced 1 million on the captives. The 18 captives were able to pay 1 million, and the 1 million each, that is 18 million, and they were released. Then the other 35 cannot be able to pay the ransom of 1 million imposed on them by the armed bandit. So they were in captivity for a good period of 5 months. After that, after the series of negotiations with the bandit, and they said they will not release them until and unless this money were paid. This 35 million naira was taken to the bandit hideout. Before the negotiator delivered the ransom of the 35 million naira to armed bandit in their hideout, there is an army base in Sakajiki. And this negotiator tell the army in Sakajiki village that he's going to the bandit hideout to deliver the 35 million ransom. And the army snapped his picture, video him, and from the army camp to where the bandit settled in their camp is not more than 3 kilometers. And they went and delivered the 35 million. After the delivery of the 35 million, they have discovered that these people this innocent soul who were kidnapped for 5 months were slaughtered to death. 5 women delivered in captivity. 3 women who were pregnant delivered in captivity. And one of the women, her child, the baby, was smashed to death by this wicked and heartless bandit. And it was after the delivery of this 35 million, they have discovered that these people were killed when the 18 people were released. And they tell them, say, one by one, all of them were slaughtered to death by this bandit.
Right. As we talk about, the issues that these individuals they face, we have to also talk about, the effectiveness of vigilantes in coordinating with security agencies, whether it's the military, the police, and the DSS, in just identifying, what's going on in those communities. Is there some sort of a synergy between the vigilantes, or are they also, grasping for assistance?
Yeah, you see, the Operation Pansayama is a combination of the security agencies. Military, that's the Army, Air Force, Navy, DSS, Civil Defense, and some civilian JTF, that is the access, who are under supervision of the Department of State Security. The government has done everything humanly possible in collaboration with the Office of the Director General of the Department for Security Service to deploy the 700 assets in Namoda, in Shinkafi, in Sape, in part of the local government, in other local government. But because of the large ungoverned space, these non-state actors are staying in a deep forest. These security agencies will find it difficult because the inaccessibility of the roads. The place is not more terrible. So no matter the effort the security agencies will do in this fight against insecurity, their hands are tied because the security are understaffed, under-equipped, under-financed, and under-motivated, and underappreciated by the government. The state government has been doing everything humanly possible in this fight against insecurity, but his hands are tied. When he deployed these assets to fight with Turji in his hideout, they have recorded a tremendous victory. Many of these Turji foot soldiers were killed by these assets, the DSS civilian JTF. But the federal government had to call the attention of the governor under the office of the Chairman Committee on Security and Intelligence, Senator Buba, to go to Shinkafi and reconcile and go into peace dialogue to apply non-kinetic methodology. But the non-kinetic methodology cannot solve the problem. On the previous occasion, the previous government of Abdullahi and Matawale have done a peace dialogue with this bandit, and these bandits have betrayed to trust and breached the agreement. So these are the challenges. And these security agencies, you know, there is a rivalry between these security agencies in terms of the security intelligence gathering. The DSS are responsible for intelligence security gathering. And when they gather this intelligence report with the help of the community, the action agencies will say that unless and until they get order from the above. And that is the means of the stumbling block in this fight against insecurity. Even when the negotiator went to deliver the ransom of 35 million to the Banga, for the release of the Banga communities who are in captivity for 5 months, they said, can't we help us to go and fight this thing with a PC carrier vehicle? They say their hands are tied unless and until they get order from the above. This is the challenges.
So clearly the challenges are, the challenges at this point are Herculean, right? And it seems like at this point, even at federal and state level and all security agencies, everyone seems to be, at wit ends in terms of, the way forward. So I think the question is, what then should be the urgent reforms in terms of just a proper synergy between those on the ground in those communities, as well as the security agencies who are tasked with the responsibility to whether gather information or protect the lives of the citizens? Because we're talking about 35 persons, and not just that, but also the vigilantes as well, and other community members who are left to secure their lives. What would then be the urgent reforms that can facilitate or fast-track security? Because we're talking about lives here, lives and properties forever gone.
While the primary responsibility of every government, in line with the Section 14, subsection 2B of 1999 Constitution as amended, it is the responsibility of the federal government to deploy security in this fight against insecurity. The governor's hands are tied. They were only, in theory, called chief security officers of the state. To me, they are not chief security of the state. They are chief logistic officers or chief executive officers of the state. A governor cannot deploy, be a constable to go and fight insecurity. This thing lies under the office of Mr. President, who is the Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So on this ground, there is a need for total security overhaul. The security architecture of the country will be totally overhauled, and there's need for constitutional amendment to accommodate the state police. That state police can help in the fight against this insecurity. If you look at it, most of the state government has some security civilian JTF. So this civilian JTF, who are conversant with the terrain of the hideout of this bandit, can now be injected or recruited into the state police to fight in this fight against this banditry and other criminal elements. Because Zamfara has a very big forest, has a large landmass has a population of 6 million people. The numbers of the security put together, including civilian JTF, including the Community Protection Guard, Army, Air Force, and other security agencies, cannot be up to 5,000.
All right.
And they are not equal.
So I must say thank you. I wish there's enough time for us to continue. Clearly, this is not a conversation that can be had in minutes. It will take an hour to discuss this and also to have every individual at the table. Our hearts go out to those who have lost their lives at the kidnappers' den. I want to say thank you so much for taking out the time to join us. Abdullahi Shinkafi, the former director there for the Committee of Bandits issues in Zamfara State, giving us a bit of insight following reported killings of 35 individuals in kidnappers' den in Zamfara State. Let's go on a short break, shall we? When we return, we'll head to River State, and our correspondent, Biola Festus, is on standby. Stay with us.